Tonight, cleanup efforts continue across central Indiana following historic flooding. We want to show you Hoosiers helping Hoosiers impacted by the severe weather.
But first, we're tracking even more rain that's headed our way. In fact, some of the areas hardest hit by flooding now at this hour at 6 o'clock are under flash flood warnings as the storms now arrive here in central Indiana.
And thanks for inviting us in. We want to start here in the Weather Center with Angela. She's got the timeline for you and the potential impact of these storms.
And they're already having an impact with several severe thunderstorm warnings. We had one tornado, observed tornado warned storm move through Delaware County just west of Muncie is where that was observed. And now, as we look at the big view of radar, we can't ignore what we've got overhead now and what's developing out to our west. All of this is going to move our way. Unfortunately, it's going to be a very active evening and overnight of flooding and severe weather, at least that potential. We do have what's left of that original tornado warned storm has weakened significantly. It is east of Muncie, headed toward the Winchester area and Parker City. Let's travel west. These are flash flood warnings, Kokomo until 8:30. We have a new one until 8:45 for parts of Carroll, Clinton, and Tippecanoe counties. We're also keeping a close eye on this storm just north of Frankfort. Meteorologist Rob Ellis keeping a very close eye on the potential of rotation with this one. Perhaps some hail, perhaps some strong winds, and unfortunately still that heavy rain threat. Future Track 13 shows the storms we're dealing with now and more arriving late tonight. We're going to continue to keep you updated, but I do want to let you know if you are ever on, take us with you. That WTHR streaming app we know can be very, very helpful, especially if you're on the go for the latest warnings and the latest radar.
That's the sound of Black Hawk helicopters flying over Carmel. You may have seen or even heard these Indiana National Guard choppers today near Hazeldale Parkway.
Our Ella Rhodes now explains why these crews spent the day assisting the city of Carmel.
This Indiana National Guard Black Hawk helicopter is picking up a 2,000-pound bag of sand to build a secondary temporary dam.
Carmel enlisted the National Guard's help because the city's equipment could not reach the place it needed to build the dam. That dam to protect water and sanitary pipelines endangered by the floodwaters. Days ago, water swept through and ripped apart Hazeldale Parkway. Two Blackhawks picked up and strategically placed 73 giant bags of sand to create a dam. A highly technical operation. Carmel City Engineer Bradley Pease says that dam is crucial to secure those pipelines.
Total success, Colonel. So from an engineering standpoint, 100% success. It's a beautiful dam, check dam that will provide us additional protections.
Plans to fix Hazeldale are also underway. The county says it did consider a temporary bridge to open one lane in each direction, but it says it's just too expensive and will delay the main repairs.
The city of Carmel says all city utilities remain operational. In Carmel, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun announced the state disaster fund is being activated. So this comes as Hoosiers wait for a decision from FEMA. So let's go ahead and explain to you how this works. Families can apply for a $5,000 emergency relief grant. Those grants will help families meet basic needs while out of their homes. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security tells us insurance is still the best way to receive adequate payments following a disaster, and we've got a link for you to apply. It's on WTHR.com.
People living in Ravenswood now getting a look at the damage left behind as they return to their homes. And this is just the start of what is expected to be a lengthy cleanup process. Indy DPW says it's deploying extra dumpsters for garbage and other debris from the flooding. DPW is asking anyone who can't move the debris to the dumpsters to try and get it at least as close as they can to the curb of their property as possible. Then a full-scale cleanup is now scheduled for this upcoming Saturday.
Tonight, business owners are cleaning up after all the flooding.
Samantha Johnson went back to Hamilton County tonight, checking in on some of the places that were hardest hit.
We were just down the road from the Carmel Equestrian Center over the weekend when Carmel firefighters were here helping to evacuate close to 24 horses. Now that it's midweek, everything left out to dry, and it feels like parts of this property are turned upside down.
Scrubbing buckets, collecting, pulling out wet stuff. Kathy Arnold is the owner here. She says she has never experienced anything like this.
It was a little bit of a shock to think, I can't stay. Really? Okay.
Thankfully, everyone made it out safely, even the chickens. And the horses are coming back Wednesday. A few miles up the river,
You can see the large dumpster. The water level right there was about chest high on me.
the White River Canoe Company is in cleanup mode.
It's quite the undertaking. We've been at it since Friday.
When crews carried hundreds of canoes and tubes to higher ground.
God bless the people that work for us.
Just one of many businesses hoping to get back to business. And the folks here hope to be back on the water for Labor Day. In Hamilton County, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Thank you, Sam. There's an Indianapolis-based nonprofit that's best known for bikes and educating young people about being healthy and physical fitness is now expanding its mission. Now it's organizing to help feed Hoosiers.
So those efforts are now focused on helping people impacted by the flooding. This morning, 913 cut the ribbon on its newest distribution center. This organization launched more than a decade ago and originally focused on youth programs. Then in 2020, it began delivering food during the pandemic.
The group transports food between local groups and families, and while today is the grand opening, they say they've already been hard at work with flood assistance.
Well, we were fortunate our partners were able to step up and already had the capacity they needed for that food infrastructure. Those were the first phone calls we were getting on Friday and Saturday was, are your trucks available? Do you have capacity? Can you get us food if we need it right now?
913 supports more than 50 community partners every single month, and they tell us they've already moved than 4 million pounds of food so far this year.
Communities all across central and eastern Indiana tonight are stepping up to help Hoosiers impacted by the flooding. There's been this outpouring of support as groups hand out food and supplies. So if you or someone you know needs help, or if you'd like to support these efforts, please go to WTHR.com. Tonight, a moratorium on new data center developments here in Indianapolis is now in effect. The Metropolitan Development Commission passed that proposal earlier today. So this moratorium gives our city more time to research the impact of data centers. The commission says it expects that research to begin later this year, with a final presentation taking place late next summer. This moratorium will remain in place until the end of next year. Angela?
Scott, there is drier air, drier weather in the 7-day forecast, but it's not coming fast enough. We've got storms slow moving enough for flash flooding threat tonight. I'll have your forecast.